everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another diecast restoration video. Okay, before we start, I'd just like to thank all my subscribers for sticking with me. Thanks for watching, and thank you everybody for all your comments and advice. It's been quite a bit of advice lately because I've missed things out of certain models. I've done that breakdown truck, I did the comma one, I left the spring out, and because there was no spring in it when I undid it, and I just didn't realise there was a spring in it for the winding mechanism, so I missed that out. So thanks for pointing that out to me. I was going to try and make one out of a hair clip because I think I can get it in from the top without undoing everything. Anyway, right, so on to today's video, and this is one that was very kindly donated to me a while back, well, last year it was, and it's from Mr. Guy Ousey, I'm not sure how he says his name, O-U-S-E-Y, I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyway, this one's from Guy, and oh, I've had some fun with this one. It's taken me probably about 4 weeks to get it done, and it's just been one disaster after another. I never thought a model could cause so much aggravation to do as this one. So basically anything and everything that could go wrong with doing this has gone wrong, and right to the very end, and I've had enough of it now. I'm pleased the way it's turned out in the end. It's not too bad. It's not 100% how I'd like it, as you'll see. You know, well, I've said before, don't wear rings when you're putting stuff together, and I'd scratched a couple of bits as I was putting it together. And but anyway, it's really tried my patience, but I'm glad I've got it now, so don't get me wrong on that one. You know, you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and sometimes models just do go like that. They give you nothing but trouble, and others you think you might have a lot of trouble with just go smoothly. So it's the luck of the draw, I guess, you know. But anyway, you'll see in the video, it's a fairly long one. You can always scroll forward if you get bored, but there's a lot of frustration, a lot of sighs and ums and ahs in this one. So anyway, this week's video is going to be the restoration of a Corgi Toys Ford Thunderbird, and that's the one that's based on the television series that was Vegas, and it was Dan Tanner, private investigator, used to drive around in this car in the series. So that's what this one is. So as I always say, please sit back, relax, enjoy watching the video, see how I got on with this one. Right, okay then, let's take a closer look at this one. So it's a Corgi Ford Thunderbird, and it's from, or you know, based on the series Vegas, or Dan Tanner driving, private investigator was he, or I can't remember now. Yeah, Dan Tanner, private investigator. So anyway, let's take a closer look at this. Well, it's not too bad, but the paint job, it's almost like as if somebody sort of repainted it, but I don't think they have. It's not great. But anyway, it's just a bit grubby there. The aerial's all chewed up and bent. The windscreen is there, but it's sort of bent, melted, you can see. or it's like the heat's got to it, so I might be able to heat it a bit and straighten it and then clean it up. I don't think it's got any cracks, just very scratched. The bumpers are there, but they're pretty chewed, you can see, so I'm going to have to do something with that, whether I put filler or do it with super glue and baking powder, build them up. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. Back ones are the same, but not quite so bad as the front one. Yeah, the bonnet opens, but it's got a peg under here which is supposed to push, I think, to get the bonnet open, but it's not very good. It doesn't move very far. I don't know if it's worn or what. But anyway, so there's a bit of engine detail in there, not a lot. It's black with a few bits of silver, so I guess I'll probably leave that as it is, because it's not too bad. You can see where that's not even had any paint on it there. So they must have sprayed that, looks like, with the bonnet down. So, what else? The boot opens. Nothing in the boot. I don't know if there's supposed to be anything in the boot. That opens. All this bit around the wheel is supposed to be chrome. And looking at the Google images, the backlights, it should be that sort of conical bit in the middle should be chrome, and that rim around there should be chrome. And then I'm guessing this badge is chrome as well. Don't know what's happened with the suspension, but it's non-existent. The wheels are jammed. The back ones are jammed as well. It doesn't look like it hasn't been drilled out. Still got the original rivets, so I don't think it has been repainted. I think it's just not a great quality job from CORGI in the first place. Had white wall tyres. Yeah, so it's got the 4 rivets. It's not too bad. I guess we'll get the old tin lid and start taking it apart and see what we've got. Okay. Right, okay then. Let's get these rivets drilled out. Start off with a small drill bit. Back ones. A bit bigger now. Excuse me. I think that should be enough. Right. Put it to one side and we get the old screwdriver out. And we shall have a look if this pops open. Be careful not to break the bumper anymore. There, that's popped. So, I don't know if we can... Oh, well that's the bumper, the front bumper falling off. Let's see. Okay, so that's gone. So what have we got in here? That's the question. Ooh, I'm trying to lift this off without disturbing too much. Oh, okay. So there's no real suspension as such. So I'm not sure about that. It just seems like as if there's something that should be in there that's not in there. I don't like that idea. Unless, oh, I suppose, hang on, I think it's because these wheels are supposed to be pinched in this metal here and they've come out. So I don't know if we can pinch them back or whether that's going to need gluing in there. That's what it is, they've popped out of that. So they are they the same length axles? No, the front is longer, I think, or maybe not. They're not, no, they're about the same. Okay, so that's that bit. So let's get the rest of this off. That's the back bumper. This piece comes out. Spare wheel. That's got a rivet on there, so I might have to drill that out. Lift this piece out, which is the interior. So old Dan Tanner is screwed in. He's got to screw up his arse, poor bugger. So that interior is alright. What we might have to do, well, we'll get that out and we'll clean that, and then I might mask that off and just spray the white again on the middles of the seats. Okay, so that'll all have to go into the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm not, oh, the aerial, there's the aerial, mustn't lose that, put that in there. Now this dashboard just lifts out, and that'll go also in the ultrasonic cleaner. I don't know if I can do some detailing on there. We'll have to have a look at the interiors, Google it. Then this windscreen just lifts out. We'll have to try and put a little bit of heat on that and try and straighten it. Okay, so this is a bit more complicated, if you like. That engine is plastic, so it it's kind of riveted, the plastic's riveted over there. So that'll have to be glued back in when we do that. This piece, yeah, it's obviously comes out with the engine. And this bonnet piece here got rivets as well, so we're probably going to have to drill that a bit. The boot is pinched in here, and I don't like that system that they use for doing that. I don't like it at all. don't think I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to paint it. I don't think with the bonnet, the boot like that in there. So we're going to have to get it out. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. If I can pick away at it, maybe. Can't really get the file in there. I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to pick away at that. Now these rivets for the engine, that's obviously just been flattened over. I don't know with heat or what. Okay, so I'm going to break that off basically. That's the only way I can see to do it. So just push it with a screwdriver and like slice the top of the rivet off. That'll have to be glued back into place afterwards. I think that's the best way to do it. Okay. So I need to try and push that out. Will that come out? Yeah, it should come out. Boom, there, it's gone. That's it. So that's the engine out. Okay, it comes in two bits. And then that's the piece to open the bonnet, which doesn't really work very well. Okay, so all that will have to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, so this, to get this out, I've got to drill these two rivets out. So I'm going to do that, drill them out, and I'll come back. Okay, so I've just drilled that and I've snapped that off. So, well, not snapped it, but it's snapped out from the rivet. So, you know, that's good. And then hopefully it'll snap back when we put it back together. See, it should do. And we can just glue it. That sound. Okie dokie. So that's ready for the caustic. So that's that bit, and then just I've got to do the boot next, and then I'll file the tops off these rivets here and here, and then I will do the same with the back ones, and then I'll drill them out. Now, I was looking at these headlights. It's got ground in it. That's chewed up a bit there. These headlights are like plastic bits that go in there, but I think it would be nice to put jeweled head. Oh, excuse me. Oh, something catching my throat. It would be nice to put jeweled headlights in there instead, so I might do that. Oh, excuse me, sorry for that. Okay, I'm going to get this boot off, and then I'll come back to you. We're ready for the caustic soda. Oh, and I've got to undo the screw for old Dan here. Get him out of there. There we are. That's him out. Okay, so I need to put this in a pot. Okie doke then. I'll come back to you when it's caustic soda time. Right, okay, here we go. In with the water. It's probably enough. And in with the caustic. So here we go. Maximum strength caustic soda. You know, I'm starting to think, is it this paint that don't come off? Yeah, it's starting to change colour a little bit. I'll put a little bit more. It doesn't look to be shifting much. Not having much impression on it. That's coming. Starting to come off. That's good. Okay then, so I'm going to leave that for a little while, and then we'll come back to it when it's all wire wheeled and cleaned up, ready for putting the primer on. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Right, here we are then, all cleaned up, wire brushed and ready to prime. Apart from methylated spirits, I haven't rubbed it over with meth yet, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to spray the primer on it. I've done a little bit of filing around the headlights because they've been quite misshapen through it being dropped. I've done it the best I can. I filed a fair bit off actually, so I hope it's going to be alright. So all this is drilled out ready, same with the back ones. I've filed along these edges here to try and get some of the dings out of them. It's a bit like those Batmobiles. So I hope that's going to be alright. Yeah, so that's that with that. Yeah, so that's all ready to go and put the primer on now. So I'm going to do that and then I'll come back to you. Right, well, I had a big disaster with this. When I painted it, I always warm my paint in the sink in the kitchen in the hot water, because it sprays better obviously, and so a droplet of water must have got somewhere near the nozzle when I did that, must have splashed it without noticing. Anyway, I painted the red on this casting and I got like a blob of water in. So what I tried to do, I thought, well, if I put a cocktail stick I might be able to get it out. Anyway, I sort of managed to get it out, but then it left a mark. So I just put a blob of paint in with a brush, and in the part where the where the water had been, and then I sprayed it again, which was fine. It looked okay, you couldn't see it. So that was alright. Then I thought, okay, well, that's done. I'll lacquer it the next day, and I lacquered it, and I got a big piece of fluff in it. Oh, and I thought, what do I do now? Anyway, I managed to get that out. Then I did it with wet and dry, and then I thought, well, okay, I'll give it another coat of lacquer, which I did. which was okay, and then the lacquer dried down here on this bit here. It got some air bubbles in, so in the end I thought, oh, you know, I just can't win with this. It took me about 4 days to get to that stage, so I thought, that's it, it's going back in the paint stripper. It's a shame because all the other paint, it came out really nice. So I have got the bonnet and the boot done and the base, which is okay, so I've got to redo this. So there you are, I'm going to clean it and prime it, put the primer on it again. So I'll catch you when that's done. Okay, so we got this old girl in primer now for a second time. I'm going to leave that now until tomorrow when I come back from work, and I'll start putting the red on it. Now the red, it's one of those kind of colours, a bit like the yellow. It's difficult to cover, so what I'll do is do several very thin coats, gradually build it up, and hopefully this time all should go well. Hopefully it will go well. You know, I mean, I was hoping it was going to go well last time, and it did, apart from those little bits that happened each time. So let's hope I don't get any fluff or anything on it this time. Okay, I'll come back to you when it's all painted red. Right, okay, that one's come out quite nice in the end. No trouble the second time. Got the primer on, got the colour coat on, and then the gloss on top, so it's come out quite nice. So now we got to go and move on to the other stuff from this model. Okay, so we've got this bumper and front grille, and as you can see, it's very, very chipped and pitted. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a go at building it up with the 5-second fix, which is this glue with the ultraviolet light. And then, you know, once you put that on and hardened it, you can file it to shape. So that's what I'm going to have a go at doing. Right, okay, I've built that up. It's not easy to see, and I've sanded it down, so I hope I've got roughly the right shape. I'm going to paint some black on it. Done the same with the back bumper, done the corners with the 5-second fix, and sanded it and filed it. So I've taken the middle out. That also will be chromed, because when you Google the pictures of this car, that grille is chromed, but it's got the black in the middle, so I'll put a black wash in the middle after. So that's what I'm going to do there. Yeah, so I'm going to go and give this a coat of black paint and see how it turns out prior to putting the chrome on. Okay. Right, okay, I've got these jeweled headlights here, and I'm going to put them in to this. I've got my gem tack, which I still need to get a new pot, because this one's just about had it. I've got my, what they call it, wax pencil, which needs sharpening. So I'm going to go and sharpen that, if I can find my pencil sharpener that I bought to sharpen it, and I'll put it in a safe place, and I can't remember where the hell it is. So I'll come back to you when I've sharpened that, when I've found it. Right, so here we go then. I've got my wax pencil sharpened. Okay, so I'm going to put a dab in there, and a dab in there, and maybe a bit more of a dab in there, because those are deep holes. Perhaps I should have put something in them first, but anyway, hopefully that will do. And I don't know where to put my piece stick thing now. Oh, right, here goes. Got me wax pencil. That's the first one. Am I doing something wrong? Oh, here we go. Right. Got the blooming wax from the pencil stuck on there. Okay, so that's done. I think it looked quite nice. I prefer that to the original headlights. Okay, so that's that bit. What I have done, the aerial was missing, and I made one with a 3D pen. I don't know if you can see. And what I did, I passed the piece I did with a 3D pen through a little rivet. I can't remember what size. I think they were 1.5mm rivets, and it's just the right size to go through the hole there. So hopefully that should do, because I was going to straighten the aerial. You saw me dismantle it, and I put everything in the pot, so I thought, and then when it came to look for it, it disappeared. It wasn't in the pot. So God knows where I've lost that. On the floor in the bin. I did have a tidy up, so I've probably inadvertently thrown it in the bin by mistake. So there you go. So that's what I've done there. Okay, so catch you in the next bit. Right, okay, at last we're just about ready to put it together. As you remember, I was trying to do the bumper, and the front bumper and the front grille. Now I did build it up and it looked alright. I sprayed it black, it was fine. You know, I was pleased with the outcome, so I thought to do the chrome on it, instead of using Molotov, I'd use that nail polish, that chrome nail varnish rather, and that was a disaster. I put the first coat, the lacquery coat on first, like you're supposed to, and I thought I'd left it long enough, and I hadn't, and I got some wrinkles in it. So I thought, okay, I'll just get it off with some nail varnish remover, and I ended up melting the plastic and melting the bits I'd built up. Anyway, I tried to do the best, make the best of a bad job, and no, it wasn't happening. So in the end, I looked on eBay, I kept looking, and I found a donor model. It had a few parts missing, but it had the parts I needed, and well, they're not perfect either, but that was a bit better. I've done the front grille. I was going to do a black wash in there, because when you Google it, the front grille is sort of chrome, but you can see the black through. And I thought, well, I'll try with some transparent Vallejo black and see what that does. Well, it's smoke colour, I think, and it sort of turned the front grille sort of a bronzy colour. So I thought, oh, it doesn't look too bad, I'll leave it like that. So, like I say, this isn't perfect. I have tried to smooth, there's a little bit of a kink there. I had tried to smooth it out. I thought, I'm not going to put any filler in this one. I'm just going to go with it. So that's what I've done with that. I've painted up old Dan Tanner. I put in black trousers because doing it all the same colour as his jacket, you know, I've googled the pictures of him and he had different trousers. Nearly always had a beige jacket on, but a lot of the time he had different trousers, so I've done it like that just to make a bit of a change. The dash, I've done some chrome in the middle because that's sort of how it was in the pictures on Google of the real ones. So that's done that. The donor model had better wheels, so I thought I'll go with those. Painted the white walls on them because it was they were nearly sort of faded away and disappeared almost. The screen, I did some chrome around it. Now I've tried to get the screen clean. I've done it with the buffers and that, and it's one of those kind of screens that the more you do it, the more it seems to scratch it. So I'm going out of shot, sorry. So I thought, leave well alone, don't go any further because you're just going to make it worse. Some of the more modern plastics on the screens, it doesn't work when you try to polish them. So I did, you know, I've buffed it and all sorts with the nail buffers. I've polished it with the chrome polish, the, what's it called, I've forgotten now, Otasol, and, you know, it hasn't really come up that great, so I'm just going to go with it. I didn't want to dip it because I'd done the chrome around. I should have dipped it and then done the chrome around, but anyway, so I'm going to go with that. That's about it. You saw the aerial I made. So yeah, we'll start putting this back together. Right, so if I clear some of this out of the way, I need to put the wheels on the base. So now they're two different widths of axle, so the wide ones I think go on the front of the chassis. So now I'm going to have to glue these because for for some reason, I know I did try to open them to get that off, but I don't know why, unless somebody's had to go before, but it didn't look like it'd been undone. But these wheels, the axles weren't really even in those bits in there inside, so I'm not sure what that was all about. I don't know if that's supposed to hold it in. No, maybe on the back probably it might have done, I'm not sure. No, because they're just rubbing on that. So I'm going to have to glue these in place. Something not quite right there. So I'm just going to turn the camera off and I'm going to have a look why that's like that. So just bear with me for a minute. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Did I forget to turn the camera on? Anyway, I'm just trying to put the engine into place. Trying to click that one in. I think it's in place. There's always a stubborn piece that doesn't seem to want to go in. Ah, she went at last. She went. Okay. Yeah. Okay then. I just want to put a little dab of glue on the bottom of that engine underneath. And these bits here just to hold them in. Right. Yeah, we'll need that bit more in a minute. Oh, I'm not doing very well here, am I? Yeah, everything's going Pete Tonk with this model, I tell you. Right, bonnet. So I've got the bonnet here, done a bit of detailing on that. She goes in like that, and this piece here goes on there to hold it, I think. It'd be like that. So so need this glue again. That should do it. Put the lid on the glue. Okay, so that's that bit on. Right, so that's that bit done. Seems to be okay. Now what next? Got to put the screen in. And we got this boot lid to put in. So I'll put the boot lid in maybe. And that just goes in there like that. Okay. Oh dear, I know I'm very disorganised. Right, okay, let's get this screen in. So that fits in there. And then it starts getting tricky because the dashboard goes in next, like that. And I should have put old Dan Tanner himself, I should have put him in the interior, so we'll put him in the interior next, because he has to go in first. Right, I'll try and pick the screw up. Oh crikey, I've dropped it on the floor now. Oh, where did that go? Oh dear, it's not my day. Hang on, I'm going to look for it. Okay, I found it. I'll use my left hand because I've got a full thumb on my left hand. Okay, it just screws in, or he just screws in. If I can get it to thread up his arse. There we go. Not them too tight because it's plastic. A bit more yet. Oh. Not tight enough. Okay, so that's him in. Aerial, we need to put the aerial in. God, don't worry about damaging this. Okay. Okay, you're going to have to leave that for a minute to dry as well. So I'll have to hold this. Okay, whilst that's drying properly, we'll just put this little piece together. So this is the spare wheel. And my battery's flat now on my camera. It's going to go off in a minute. So anyway, that piece goes in there. That. So I'm just going to put a blob of glue in there. And we leave that there for a bit to dry. We mustn't forget to put this little piece on before we put the base on. That's for opening the bonnet. I'm just going to change my battery on the camera because it's saying it's flat. Right, okay, that should be enough. Dry. Have another go putting this back. Okay, that just sits in there. And then this goes on top. Like so. What now? I suppose this could go in. I've done this wrong. Oh dear, I've done this wrong. I should have put this piece in. Should have put this piece in before putting the engine in. So this is a disaster. Oh dear. This is a freaking disaster. Okay, so I'm going to have to get this off again. Oh, I should have done a dry run like Martin does. I'm going to have to get this off again, get the bonnet out, get the engine out, put that piece in. Okay, we're back. I've done that, but I've marked the bonnet there and I've chipped the boot there. And I'm cheesed off about it, but I'm not going to do it all again because I have just about had enough of this model. I really have. But there, that'll teach me. Should always be prepared, and I definitely wasn't prepared with this one because it's taken me so long to do that, you know, I've forgotten. I've forgotten where everything went. Anyway, I think that does go there. So that's got to go there. This really needs to be done upside down, doesn't it? Okay, so that, we'll get there in the end. That goes there. I'm really at the end of my tether with this one. I really am now. I don't mind telling you. CRAPAUD doing the right balls up this time, eh? That's it. Like that. Like that. Then this front piece goes on, yeah. Like so. But is it fitting properly? Doesn't look to be that great to me. Anyway, we've got to go with it, haven't we? Oh no, that's come off now. Be lucky if there's any paint left on this by the time I've finished. I really... Let's get this base plate on quick before something else falls off. Probably will fall off anyway. Probably will fall off anyway. Right, rivets. I need rivets, so right, cocktail stick, let's go. Let's get these flaming rivets in. Oh, these tweezers are getting buggered as well. Right, let's get that one in. Got my stomach rumbling again. Oh, for goodness sake. Because I can't put this down because of the aerial. Okay, put him out of the way. Well, that's a flaming disaster again. Oh, I can honestly say this model has fought me every step of the way. Every step of the way. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's leave him dry there for a minute and I'll try and tidy up these little chips I've made. Right, that's that then. Another one saved from the Corgi scrapyard, but only just. Yeah, what a game this one's been. I'm glad it's finished. I'm not 100% happy with it for obvious reasons, but I'm not going to go any further. I'm not going to do anything else. That's it. I've had enough with it as well. And sometimes it's best to just walk away. So anyway, it's done. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and you've enjoyed it enough to come back next time for another diecast restoration video. So until then, please take care, look after yourselves, and we'll see you in the next video. So cheerio for now, bye bye, abato, see you next time.